there's a real opportunity for a combination of AT278, the only highly concentrated ultra-rapid acting insulin, and the Twist aid system to enable longer wear for all people with diabetes, as well as future miniaturization of these insulin pumps, so we can bring the benefits of these aid systems to more people with diabetes.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me is Arecor Therapeutics CEO, Sarah Howell. Sarah, very good to speak with you. There's been quite a bit of news from Arecor this morning. Could you give us the highlights, please?
Sure. So we have announced two major strategic updates this morning. We announced the achievement of a major milestone, which is the partnering of our lead program, AT278. This is the only ultra-concentrated, ultra-rapid acting insulin in development, and we've partnered with Sequel MedTech, who are an innovative US insulin pump device company, and that's to get this product in combination with their automated insulin delivery system, phase 2 clinical trial ready. And in addition to this, we've also announced a non-dilutive funding of up to $11 million via a royalty financing agreement with Ligand Pharmaceuticals. And this is related to the two partnered products that we had under license that incorporate the Arestat technology. And this extends our cash runway through to the first half of 2027. And finally, we also reported our unaudited half-year results, so to the year at the half-year ending 30th of June 25.
Tell us more about the Sequel partnership and why you've chosen them as a partner.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. I mean, Sequel are a company with a rich history in diabetes innovation. They've been co-founded by Dean Kamen. Dean actually invented the first insulin pump for use outside of the clinic, the auto syringe pump, back in the 1970s. And Sequel has rapidly emerged as a disruptive force in diabetes technology. The company has launched an innovative automated insulin delivery system called the Twist system. And they've launched that in the US just over 2 years from founding as a company. And they're aiming to have wide US coverage by the end of 2025. So they really bring innovation to the table, significant experience in terms of patient need, the market, and also clearly commercialization. And we're really excited here. There's a real opportunity for a combination of AT278, the only highly concentrated ultra-rapid acting insulin, and the Twist aid system to enable longer wear for all people with diabetes, as well as future miniaturization of these insulin pumps, so we can bring the benefits of these aid systems to more people with diabetes.
Could you give us more details of the terms of the deal with Sequel, please?
Sure. So under this deal, it's a co-development deal. We're each committing up to $1.3 million to co-fund this development work in preparation for a pivotal phase 2 clinical trial. And this would incorporate AT278 with the aid system. This work will include all of the CMC work, so all the manufacturing, all of the pump compatibility and regulatory interactions, and ultimately regulatory files with the FDA in order for us to conduct that phase 2 clinical study. Work has started, as you imagine, immediately there, and we anticipate completing that during the first half of 2026. And that would have us ready to enter into that pivotal phase 2 clinical study in the second half of 2026, subject to funding, of course. And we've always been clear, we've been looking for a device partner, an insulin pump partner who shares our patient vision here. And Sequel very much fit that brief. They're bringing innovation to the table. They have skin in the game. And as demonstrated by the announcement this week, we're both committed strategically to move forward into a broader co-development and commercialization agreement as well for phase 2 and beyond.
Moving on to the royalty financing, tell us what about the deal you've signed with Ligand?
Yeah, so with Ligand, we've raised up to $11 million in non-dilutive funding through this royalty financing deal. The deal is related to two products. that were under license that incorporate the Arestat technology. So AT220, which is an Arestat enhanced biosimilar that's on the market and commercialized by a global pharmaceutical company, and also AT292, which we'd originally licensed our formulation technology to Inhibrx, and that was subsequently bought from Sanofi. So, this obviously provides us access to $11 million on a non-dilutive basis. $7 million of that is upfront, and a further $1 million anticipated during 2026. So this, of course, immediately strengthens our cash position. We have cash runway now into the first half of 2027. It enables us to accelerate the development of AT278, our lead insulin asset, and also, importantly, strengthens the balance sheet for future deal making.
Sarah, why didn't you raise the money via placing?
Good question. We've been clear that we've been exploring a number of options, including non-dilutive funding. With current market conditions, equity dilution is pretty punitive at the moment, and we consider this non-dilutive royalty financing deal that we've entered into with Ligand to be the absolute best option to enable the company to execute on our strategic goals that we've spoken about, and also for our shareholders at this time, as it's non-dilutive in the current financing public markets. And also, Ligand is a NASDAQ listed reputable company and one of the leading providers of royalty financing in the US. They're focused very much in investing in highly differentiated development stage and commercial products. And we're really looking forward to building a long-term relationship with Ligand.
As you mentioned, you've also reported your interim results today. Any other highlights from the first half of the year?
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the year, we were really clear that our strategic objectives were to focus our efforts into R&D activities where we could meet real patient needs, and in doing so, drive significant value for the company and for our shareholders. So our focus this year has really been twofold: the development and further towards commercialization of our lead program, AT278, and as we've spoken about, entering into this strategic deal with Sequel is the next major step on that development for AT278 in the AIDS system, and also the development of an oral peptide delivery platform starting within the obesity therapeutic area. So we've achieved a huge amount during the first 6 months of the year, obviously culminating in today's announcements that you've seen with respect to Sequel and Ligand. We've also refocused the business, as we said we would, by ceasing non-core operations. And we've also set up a new scientific advisory board of world-leading experts in drug delivery to support our oral delivery programs and our obesity programs.
So what should we expect to hear from Arecor for the rest of the year then?
Well, not surprisingly, one of the major areas of focus for us will be on AT278, obviously preparing for those phase 2 clinical studies with our new partner, Sequel. We'll also be driving forward our R&D efforts within the oral delivery platform space. Here, we have a series of non-clinical PK studies where we're really looking to drive bioavailability and that will be focused on in the second half of this year. We're also active, as always, in business development and very active in partnering discussions. And of course, as we enter into any new partnerships, we'll update the market as those come through.
It looks like an exciting end to an exciting year for the company. Sarah, thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you.
Sarah Howell, the CEO of Arecor Therapeutics.